Hello and welcome to Tuesday. Now, a couple days ago, a little bit before last week, um, I went on a trip to Florida, and the thing about that is, it involves airplanes. Well, at least in this case, it did. Lucky for me, I had something to keep me entertained on the flight there, and that would be a good book. That book being Alex Michaelides. I don't know how to say his name. His novel, The Silent Patient. I wanted to briefly talk about this novel. It's kind of like a psychological horror thriller kind of novel, and yeah, I don't know what I was expecting when I was reading it, but I'm not a good judge of books. There's super high praise for this book, and I didn't like it too much. It was recommended to me by a friend's daughter, and she was like, "Yeah, go read this book." I'm like, "All right." Me, not really, like, not really one for novels, even though I've told myself I would read more this year. Um, I wanted to briefly just like look into it and see what it was about. It's a psychological horror based on a so minor spoilers. I think this is told in the first chapter, and huge spoilers for the book. I'll try. I hate reviewing stuff. I hate like talking about spoilers about things that like I don't want to talk about spoilers, but I want to. Okay, minor spoilers for like the beginning of the book. It's about a woman who has been suspected and hasn't been confirmed, although like everybody knows that she killed her husband, and immediately after killing him, she basically never talked ever again. And the book is about her psychotherapist. I'm not even sure that's a term, which is one of the things that kind of annoys me. They could have just said like psychiatrist instead of psychotherapist. Um, Her psychiatrist, the protagonist of the novel, uh, is like enamored with her story, and decides, hey, I want to try and help this woman. I think I can get her to speak, and it's about the build up the story, him going to his him going to her family, going to like trying to figure out what's going on, like how can he get her to speak, things like that. And I feel like it's not like I don't understand the praise for this book. It's not great. Like it's not a good book to me. It's apparently outstanding and like a bestseller, and like everybody loves it, and it's not good. Like the ending caught me off guard, and I'm like, "Oh yeah, that's it kind of makes sense." But like when I read reviews for it after, people were like, "Oh yeah, anybody who's like suspected anything would have known, like, oh yeah, this is where the story's going." For me, it didn't. But like even like that, like going through the book, it was like a solid 4 out of 10 for me going through, and then like once I hit the end, it jumped up to like maybe a 7 out of 10. Uh, but it wasn't good. Like major spoilers from here on out. So if you want to read this book, go ahead. If not, then don't. You can continue watching. Um, Basically, the main character of I can't even remember his name. Uh, he was the one who was like stalking um, the woman's husband because he was cheating on the woman's husband was cheating on with our protagonist's wife, allegedly. Never actually, I think it was confirmed. Yeah, um, and he like points it like he holds him at gunpoint in his house, and like shoots one bullet. And this story is based off a Greek tragedy of like the same nature, where a woman sacrifices herself for the husband and goes down to the river Styx and like the underworld. Eventually, she makes it back up to the surface and like returns to the land of the living. But as a result, she like feels like her husband gave her up or something like along those lines. I really want to read that story, but the woman just like never spoke again, and that's kind of what happened. Like, our protagonist threatened the husband, shot a bullet in the air. Like, he had the woman who's like undergoing therapy. He had her tied up in one room, brought the husband to another room. Was like oh, save yourself, or save your wife. Like, I'm gonna shoot one of you. Goes husband's like, kill the wife. So goes to the room, shoots one bullet in the air, and and then leaves. Just to show like this is what would have happened. Fed up, the woman kills the husband because protagonist revealed that he was cheating on her, and the whole story is years later. Our protagonist goes into the goes to where the woman's being held, her hospital, and just gets her to speak, and then eventually the woman realizes, oh, this is the man who who did everything. It's told in a way where it's like mixed history, because the protagonist is speaking about how he his finding out that his wife is cheating on him in the present tense, as well as working with his patient, even though those two events happened 5-6 years apart. I don't for me, it didn't hit. Eventually, at the end, everything works out. Not really. But, it's revealed at the end, this is what happened. So, I don't know. It just didn't work out for me. I know this is, people love this stuff. For me, not my cup of tea, but, hey, it was something that kept me entertained on the plane ride there, so happy to say that. But, yeah, I don't know. Not for me. Okay, that's my book review. I'm not great at reviewing anything other than music. I could talk about music all day, any day, but as soon as it comes to a book or a movie or a show, I suck, because I don't want to do spoilers. It's hard to spoil music. Be like, let's grab a random album. This one at the very end. I have no idea what this is. Houses, their Drugstore Heaven. Incredible album. It's basically like a fever dream of this. So good. So good. I don't know how to review stuff. I love Wandering Spell, Fast Talk, Automatic, Drugstore Heaven, Pink Honey, Naughty Out of the Red Light, and Everything I Ever. This is such a good album. I hate the color of the vinyl, though. But yeah, I can review, I can review so much stuff in depth, music-wise, but never any other kind of media. Maybe one day I'll get there, but I need to keep doing this, and once I get my footing in that media space, then I can review it. Either way, that's what we're gonna call it for today. Thank you all for watching. I hope to see you tomorrow. And until then, later.